adding this after the fact. I forgot to include it in my video. I hope to include them in the future until I get the YouTube channel big enough that it gets just too busy. Your first audio, if someone sends you an audiobook, they can send you one for free. It's like a promotional thing that Audible does. If you want to try out William Shakespeare's Star Wars after this review, then please, by all means, send me a message. I'll make sure my YouTube's set up. If you go to my channel and you go to About, it should include the option to send me a message. If you send me a message for this video only until the second episode is up, I would be willing to email people from my email a copy of William Shakespeare Star Wars, assuming it lets it work that way. I haven't done that with large groups before. It might only let me send one book once. I don't know. There's a few things on Audible that aren't quite as straightforward as I would like, but by all means I'm willing to give it a chance. So yeah, after this review, if you want William Shakespeare Star Wars, but you're not sure about Audible, or you and especially if you don't have Audible, it should be an option for me to send you the book. So please send me a message, and I will get you a copy of this fantastic book, and then hopefully you'll buy the other two. I know I'm looking forward to listening to the other two, and I haven't done that already, but I'm looking at this. I love this one. It's 4.5 rating. These ones are 4.7 or 4.8. So I'm looking forward to that. Good day, YouTube. This is PycoPie. I know I've been doing a lot of Minecraft videos recently, but I definitely want to keep some writing going on. So every week I'm going to do a review of an Audible book. The video will not be monetized, and that's going to be because I'm playing an audio sample. I want to explain when I'm doing these reviews, I want to explain some of the good and bad points of the book in general, and how it relates to the experience of listening to it. One of the advantages nowadays that we have Audible doing such a great job is the cost is down. Now, the regular price for William Shakespeare Star Wars is $21. If you're a member, it's $14.70. This is actually a rather short audiobook, and that's because it's in script format, and it's just for the movie. It's not the full story with all the extra bits like the original novel was. You can also get it with a credit, which I'll explain later. The other thing is, if you are not currently an Audible member, you can get one book for free, in addition to what I mentioned earlier in this video of me sending someone a book. If I send you a book and then you join, with the first month being one book free, I think you can get this book and then like the next one as your free book if you want. Just be careful and don't accidentally go with the third book, The Jedi Doth Return. Go with Empire Strikes Back. And Star Wars, William Shakespeare Star Wars is actually a great start for kind of the epitome of an Audible experience. It's not just someone reading it. This has brilliant sound effects straight from the movies. LucasArts, all Star Wars audiobooks have access to the same sound resources that the movies do, at least as far as I can tell. And because of that, it really adds a lot to experience. When you have, when you go to a ship, right? You cut from being on a planet to another character on a ship. You can have a sound of that ship, of the engines. You can have, when a character enters a room, you can have doors opening and closing. It adds a lot to it. It's a high production value. It definitely adds to the cost. But because they already have all the sounds recorded and cataloged, it's a lot easier for Star Wars. And William Shakespeare Star Wars doesn't just have one person reading it. They have a whole cast reading it, which is brilliant. For when each character legit has its own voice actor, adds a lot to it. On top of that, it says it's written by Ian Dosher. I don't know anything about Ian Dosher. I don't. But quite honestly, this book adds more to the original Star Wars story than anything else I've actually ever seen or heard. I've played a lot of the video games. I love a lot of the Star Wars video games. LucasArts was a great video game company. And this blows away all of them. It gets into a little bit more of the characters, the meaning behind it. And then one of the nice things about it is it updates. It's been updated for when it was created. It was written, this release dates for the audiobook, but it's released before that. Release of it in like 2000, I think it was like 11 or 12, included episodes 1, 2, and 3. So whereas in the movies, in the original written versions of Star Wars, Obi-Wan doesn't recognize C-3PO and R2-D2. In this, there is more of that connection. Darth Vader goes a little bit into his past, right? We all know the big reveal, right? Darth Vader's Luke's father. So it's kind of interesting revisiting the story and getting Darth Vader's perspective, knowing that already. It adds more to the story that wasn't done before, and it would have been very hard to do. So this book is magnificent. Now there is a problem with this book. And it's not really a problem, it's a formatting choice that a lot of people won't like. It's written in script format. So when someone enters the scene, the narrator says they enter. It's like they were doing a dress rehearsal on stage and the person's calling out the steps that they take. So that's the only complaint that I have about it. And even that is fully understandable. Plus you have this nice, can I do this image as well? Yes. Unfortunately, that doesn't really convey it, but just that art in and of itself is, it adds a lot to it. So let's play this audio sample.
Exeunt droids. Scene 2. Aboard the rebel ship. Enter Darth Vader carrying Rebel Leader 1 by the neck and stormtroopers.
The Death Star plans we could not find herein, nor are they on the main computer, Lord. In short, they are not here, and there's an end.
Thou speakest well, my stormtrooper, and yet not well upon my ear the message falls. I turn to thee, thou rebel. I lift thy head above my own. Thou canst now choose to keep the secrets locked safe in that head, and therefore lose the life thou holdest dear, or else to keep thy head and thus thy life. My patience runneth quickly out, much like the sands across the dunes of Tatooine. So tell me, else thou diest quick. Where shall we find transmissions thou didst intercept? What hast thou done, say, with those plans?
Darth Vader begins to choke Rebel Leader 1.
My lord, I hid a knife I value. Certain 'tis. And yet to thee I must report, we have not intercepted one transmission. This is a consular ship, and nothing more. Undiplomatic mission.
Thou knave, with thy last breath hear thou this word. If this is but a consular ship, then where is the ambassador?
Rebel Leader 1 dies.
Commander, prithee go. Rend thou this ship apart until the plans are found.
So that reminded me of a couple of things about this. The sound effects added a lot there. You know, you had the transition from the ship, you had this character dies, but then you had the sound of a body hitting the floor. And, you know, who doesn't like letting the bodies hit the floor? It's just a fun song to play games to. But no, in all seriousness, it adds a lot to it. Each character, the main characters I feel have their own feels. Like, they have their own feel in this story, which was very nice. One thing that I remember that did bother me, R2-D2's lines. R2-D2 in this reads his lines, beep, squeak, beep, beep, squeak, squeak, beep. Literally, it's someone reading it, which is adorable. But then they also have the R2 sounds from the movies. And when you have both, it doesn't work. They do this in the stories when they write them, but it doesn't add anything to have that. Pick one or the other. You're pulling the listener out of the story when you do that in this book. So that's actually thinking on. Actually, agree with that 4.5. I can't recommend this book higher for if you're new to Audible or audiobooks. Like that sound of the body hitting the floor. In most novels, that's described, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But character dies, and then you hear the body hitting the floor. It has a much more significant impact in an audiobook than reading the lines. It's very hard to do that. The only author I know of that I really feel can do that kind of thing with the words is Brandon Sanderson and some of the people who read his stories. So anyway, hopefully this video doesn't get a strike on my YouTube. I really hope not. I'm not charging any money. I'm not trying to do any advertising. I'm not asking for donations. All I'm wanting to do is share my love of audiobooks because I listen to about 30 hours a week. The member price is pretty much always cheaper. It's never more expensive. Also, while you are paying a monthly subscription, it's like $12. And that monthly subscription gets you 1 credit. 1 credit will get you any audiobook on Audible. That means, like the book Shogun. It's a 54-hour long audiobook. Fantastic. I'm probably going to cover it next. It's only 1 credit, or $12, which is a fantastic deal. It's literally a $50 book for $12. You're basically getting it for a fourth of the price. Almost a fifth of the price, actually, after tax. And if you're a member and you're out of credits, or I think if you have only 1 credit left, you can actually purchase, and they make it a little awkward, but you can purchase 3 credits for $36. So if you're like me, you can listen to audiobooks while at work. I put down $36. That lasts me for 2 weeks. My library's gotten big enough. I'm going back and listening to some books, so keeps my costs down. But no, this is fantastic. William Shakespeare, Star Wars, especially now that the new Star Wars movie comes out. And there's a spoiler here, so skip ahead about 15 seconds if you don't want it starting now. In the new book, it ends with the beginning of the New Hope, for all intents and purposes. In Star Wars universe, the timeline difference is like a couple of hours or a couple of days at most. And so, while this book on tape doesn't include the new movie in it, it's interesting in that right now, listening to it, you're going to have a perspective on the universe that you wouldn't have otherwise. In the fact it includes the first episodes 1, 2, and 3, but not the most recent one. And as a result, it's kind of a unique experience. So I highly recommend it. This video is getting kind of long, even with the cut I need to make. I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to include a link to the description to William Shakespeare Star Wars in the description. And if you liked this, even if you don't buy the book, right, you choose not to buy it, if you want to see more, please like and comment. Let me know what you want me to do a review of. If you have a book that you want to listen to on Audible, but you're not sure, let me know. I tend to focus more on sci-fi or fantasy, but there are some stories that I listen to on Audible that are no way sci-fi or fantasy. So put a link in the description. I might check it out, might do a review on it. I always look for new authors. I'll probably do Shogun next, and then one of my favorite sci-fi authors, B.V. Larson. So yeah, that'll be it for our first audio review. That'll do it for our first audiobook review. Thank God I'm not reading these books, right? That'll do it for our first episode. Like and comment, it really helps. Especially, I want to see these do well. Eventually, while I don't want to focus too much on the business, I would like to eventually be able to make some money off of YouTube, so that I can justify doing it a little bit more, because I'm having a blast right now making videos but not killing myself over them. If I can get some extra income without killing myself, that's preferable. If I have to kill myself, well, then what am I going to do with money, right? It just doesn't work. So like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you want to hear next. If you've listened to this, leave comments for other people, right? I specifically did not show other people's reviews for the book because that's their opinions, not mine. I don't want to misrepresent the book or them without their permission. But if you leave a comment down below and other people check it out, hey, that's your comment. That's more community involvement, and you can get more points across. I'm sure some people have some points that I missed. So yeah, like and subscribe. Have a good day, and listen to an awesome audiobook. Bye bye.